Hi, and welcome to The Lamp in the Library. I'm Graham.
I'm Kim. And today we're going to be starting a new returning feature that we'll come back to periodically entitled, Is It Overrated? And we're going to be looking at classic pieces of literature that are considered to be masterpieces and see if we agree or not.
So, we seem to be in an era where people are questioning the literary canon for various reasons. And in that spirit, for this continuing feature, we're going to take a bit of a dive into a single classic work per episode and tell you what we think of them.
Yeah, and just so you know, we won't be giving any spoilers away, just giving some overall impressions for people who have never read the book also. So we're going to start with what is considered to be a leviathan of American literature. If you haven't guessed, Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Some consider it to be a masterpiece, while others think of it as mere whale blubber. Where will we fall on the spectrum? Graham?
So here's another copy of the book. We happen to have two. When I first picked this book up, I was really nervous because of its reputation as a work that is impenetrable and self-serious and never-ending. And I was really surprised when I started reading it about how funny and fun it was. It didn't take itself seriously. The themes are as weighty as its reputation, but the writing is fun. It's playing with language. It has this kind of like biblical Homeric language, I suppose, but it's not self-serious. It doesn't take itself seriously, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that doesn't get maybe covered is that there's still like a playful side to it. I read it actually because I had been talking about how I felt like I should read Moby Dick, and Graham actually ended up gifting it to me for a birthday some years back. And right after he gifted the book, I actually had a 7-hour train ride. So I started it on that train ride. And I think that part of my enjoyment of the book came from the fact that I was reading it on my own and not in any sort of scholastic setting. So there was no specific time frame put on how long I had to read it. And then also I didn't have to think about like, oh, okay, how would I write an essay about this? Or like, what would the questions on an exam be? Because I feel like the people I've spoken to who've read it and really didn't like it very much, read it in school, in like either university. Well, actually for me, I just knew people who read it in university. I think sometimes the book also, a lot of what people know about it is that there are long sections in the book that really delve into the biology of whales and the use of different parts of whales and
the ghastliness of the color white.
Yeah, he has all sort of like
all kinds of like digressions in
yes.
entire chapters. You could probably cut a third of this book without losing any of the plot details.
But
and yeah,
I think that that's why if you read it in a scholastic setting, it would frustrate you more because you have so much other work to do that you wouldn't be able to just sort of be curious by those parts and just like read them for what they are and enjoy them, learn about whales. So I really think that some of it has to do with how you read it, and unfortunately I think sometimes the school setting might harpoon it.
I agree. I think that the reading it on your own outside of an academic setting is much better, and I can see why it has a reputation if this book is imposed on people in high school or university. Then definitely you're not going to enjoy those long digressions. You're going to it's going to be very painful. So I think there's two kinds of readers. This book does lend itself to an abridged version because, like I said, you can cut a third of the book probably and lose none of the story. But you either love it for that or you hate it for that. And I think if you're reading it outside of an academic setting, you're going to enjoy this book a lot more.
Yeah. So I definitely land on the side of it is a classic and deserves to be so and to remain there.
I as well. I think this book is deserving of its reputation as a classic book. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. And if you haven't read it, I suggest picking it up and giving it a go. Now that sea shanties have had their 15 minutes of TikTok fame, there's no better time to pick up Moby Dick.
Yeah, and one of the things I'd like to add too is like, you think you know what all the themes are, but sort of part of the beauty of the book is it is dealing with various themes, and you as a reader, when you don't read it in a school setting, you'll be able to determine for yourself how the book is speaking to you and what themes you see, which I think is really powerful. And sometimes in academic settings, they maybe force a little bit too much what they want you to see upon it. And this is a book where you could do that really easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which would take from the pleasure.
Yeah, yeah.
So thanks so much for tuning in to The Lamp in the Library. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit the bell so you always know when we have a new episode. And please, if you've read Moby Dick, please leave your thoughts below, or are you gonna plan to read Moby Dick now? Let us know.
Ye landlubbers, keep well.
Keep reading.
No hot stuff, I'm not saying hot.
Sorry.